All right, okay, ITS148, and it's April 25th today. And so today, oops, I haven't updated this yet. Oh no, I guess I have, April 25th. Okay, so yeah, I guess we're about in chapter 19. Um, I'm gonna, uh, April 20, okay, so Tuesday's April 30th. Okay, I thought Monday. All right, great. Yeah. So we actually do have two full more days. Do we have both Tuesday and Thursday next week, or is it only just? Oh, just we have both those days. Okay, great. All right. Today I'd like to go over the exercises in the back of chapter 18 and 19 because it's very similar to what your last assignment is. What the last assignment I gave you is. I don't, probably am not gonna, I reserve the right to give you something more, but I think it's not gonna be, it's gonna be something very small. I haven't figured out what it was yet, but since this is 148, since you're leaving us, this could be the end of the, the you may not take any more programming classes, although you may. Yeah, I hope you do. So if you go off now and into doing other things, and you say that you learn how to program in C sharp uh, at Casey at Capulani using Visual Studio, there's a certain minimum that I would like you to be able to say that to be able to do. And so I think I'm going to be very specific about that, and it'll be some little problem that you have to do. And just the exercise of doing that problem will reinforce what those what that the those values are that you should be able to do when you're done with 148. You know, um, uh, professors around here complain, not around here, but around other places, complain that the the programmers that come out of school these days don't know how to program. Well, I don't really know what that means, but um, oftentimes when they're making those judgments, they're based on sort of old programming criteria. They don't consider at all the fact that you know how to use Visual Studio and the form designer, for example, in Visual Studio. They don't consider at all that you know quite a bit about designing forms. You know about all the controls and everything, and they're usually old timers that only think about um, whether whether you could sit down and code the difference between code a bubble sort versus code a selection sort. So it's a little bit different. You're going to have to know how to make forms. You're going to have to know about the controls on a form, and if you've gone this far, it's how to connect those, how to bind those to fields of a database. But you're never going to have to know the difference between a bubble sort and a selection sort. Now, 30 years ago you did, but today that's all built in. I mean, the C sharp will pick the best sort algorithm when you know, it's sort of built into the data structures today. So anyway, um, we here at KCC brag that you folks that we're a Visual Studio shop, we're a .NET shop, and so if you leave this the programming classes, you should at least know something about that more so than you would if you were to be taking programming classes in another program here in the UH system. All right, so for assignment 10, I'd like you to create an application similar to the Friends database application that you created last semester. Uh, um, oh, and in assignment 9, which is the previous assignment, except I want you to store the data into an SQL database. And so I'd like you to have these fields, And it turns out that this application is very similar to the customer database. In exercises 18-1, 18-2, and 19-1, steps 1 through 10 in the textbook. So if you simply go and do these exercises, but you gotta make your own database because it's gotta have these two extra fields in it, but it already has these fields. In fact, it'd be nice if you could connect the state up like it does in the exercises, but this is basically, you know, okay, then, you know, the opening form displays the data in data grid view, and I want you to make all the adjustments to the data grid view so it looks nice. You know, it doesn't look, you know, so the columns are sized nicely when it opens up, and then you're able to select a friend from data grid view. Okay, and with data grid view, you're going to be able to add and delete friends just fine, and you can actually modify them in data grid view. But I'd like you to be able to select one, and then you click on a button and it pops up that friend in a single details view, and you can make changes that way. So it's a little bit more than this, because you have to know how to do the connection between going from one form to the next. We're probably not going to get to that part today, but I would like to go through these steps, or at least get started so you can see. I'm not sharing my screen yet, am I? Not too bad. Sorry. I don't think I'm sharing my screen. Okay, all right. No, I'm not. Okay, so I was speaking just to the description of the assignment of assignment 10 here. All right. So if we go to resources and find is there a database? A database here, is that? Yeah, I think that's all we need. Let me grab that, put it on the desktop. And let me just open that up. See what's in there. See what's in. Okay, yeah, huh? Yeah. Hmm? Yeah, it's one change the chapter, yeah. So there it is, and I'm gonna start a new Visual Studio here. Now I've already updated my Visual Studio on my computer to 2019. Hope this all works. Gotta sign in over here. All right, so I'm gonna open up a new project. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna open up a Windows Forms application. Or I could just do this. New project. Windows. I don't think it's this one here. Windows Forms application. I'm going to put it on the desktop. And I'm going to name it, I don't know, customer maintenance. So let's go to, let me open up the textbook. Let's see, I'm going to open up, do I have the textbook on here? We're in chapter 18. Let me just do this. All right, I'm going to do this here. So in this, wait a second, this is not right. Oh, I oops, I made a mistake here. Anyway, it's not 18-1. It's just 18-2. I'm gonna stop the video here for a moment and fix that. 18-2. All right, so it's 18-2. Let me just go to 18-2 here. And so build an application with text boxes. So this is customer maintenance, and if you notice, the customer maintenance table database is just like the assignment, except for it's, you know, in the assignment the context is friends. So we start out by first I created an application, then use the techniques in figures 18-1 to 18-8 to create a data source that includes all the columns of the customer table, and be sure to add the database file to the project and do this. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, okay. Let's see. We should. All right. All right. Let me just do this. So I'm going to go to data sources and click add new data source. And it's a database, the data set. It is a new connection to an SQL database file. And oh, shoots. I pressed the wrong button when I stopped the video. All right, so that's fine. Now I'm going to connect to the database. And so it's this thing on the desktop here. So let me do that. Click OK. Click yes. Uh, Well, if you know how to modify databases, wait a minute, is this the right database? Oh, yes, it is right. No, not really. But you can make it's friends. So there's two more fields. I mean, you can use you if you can if you want to, you can modify the table in here to do it. But so you say yes because you want to copy it over. So this isn't quite the same. Yeah, maybe I should make a new database, right? Yeah, I guess I should make a new database. Anyway, so the tables here, customers, and you can include all the customers, and then you can add two more fields. In fact, okay, in fact, after you're done, you can add two more fields. See, I'm going to include the states also. Just finish. Yeah, the trouble is there aren't any. Can't really add. Can't really add fields. Let me. I'm gonna. I think I am gonna create a new application. That was a good question. Let me just start over again here. New project. I'm going to call this one Friends. Oh, sure. Okay, and now I'm going to create a new database. Add new item. And I'm going to add a service-based database. Service-based database. Should name it something like Friends. And add. I did this already, didn't I? Last time. Okay, so now we have this Friends service-based database, and now I'm going to click on Server Explorer and click on Data Connections and click on Friends MDF, and we see there's no tables. Let's right-click on that and add a table. And here's where we can add our people. We can add. See why? Let me see if I can open up. Should be able to open up that one too. Oh well, I actually have the. Let me just. Oh no. This. It's these. First name, varchar, plenty, address, 50, I guess. City, varchar, 20. And state varchar 2. Phone number, whatever. Maybe I'll let that be null, and email. Let that be null. Okay, and for this ID, I want to make sure that it's a key, but I also want to make sure that it is an identity specification, is identity, and it'll identity increment by 1 each time, and it'll start out at 1. So that is like the key value, and when we ever refer to a friend, we can always just refer to that friend by that friend's key value. And right down here, this table, I'm going to name this table friends or something, people. Yes. Oh, I forgot the zip code field? Yes. Now, can I add? I don't think I can only delete. I can't add. Can I move? What would happen if I were to just put it down here? I don't know. It might work. I'm going to try it. Zip code. Varchar, whatever, 15. Not, no. I don't know if this is going to work. Ooh, it did. That's pretty clever. All right, so that's how you add it if you need it. This is the name of the table is friends. I'm going to name it my friends just because, it's a different name than the actual database itself. So I'm going to name it my friends. All right, so now I click update. And update database, I think. It looks like it updated successfully. And so now when I go to Server Explorer and I hit refresh over here, now I have a table there. And I can add, show, oh, the first thing, oh, it's over here. Okay, click on that. And I got to make sure that, let's see, is this where I do it? Output to directory, copied output directory, copy of newer. Got to change it to that. All right, well, all right. So now let's create a data source. Add data source, database, data set. That's the database. That's a fine name for a connection string. Tables, I'm just going to do everything and finish. Okay, so now I have a data source over here, which is my database. And let me pin this. And so let's bring up the form. And here's the data source. And I'm going to figure out how to copy a table. Can I add? I'm going to create another table called states. See if this works. States. I don't think it will. state code. So I'm going to go back over here. This is the customer database again. I'm going to go to Server Explorer, Data Connections, Database, Tables, and what I'd like to do is copy this table over. And there's a state code and a state name. And I think if I open table definition, no, I don't want to open table definition. Well, I can see what this looks like. Just this right here is basically what I want. Copy this and go back to my other application, and I think I can just like put it here. Whoa. And then I also wanted to see, it's been a long time since I've done this. Let me go back to my Server Explorer and let me show table data. And I believe that there is a way for me to output this thing. Let's see, before I try anything. Script to file. Look at that. I'm going to copy this. Ooh. Let me go back over here and well, let me just copy this. It's not much here. Save, and there's probably a way that I could have saved this. I'm sure one of these is. Um, new, well, let me just do this. Paste. Save as. Let me go up to the desktop. Friends. I'm just going to say table friend my friends dot SQL there, and now I got to figure out how to get that into here. But if I could do this, add. I don't think this is going to do it. Oh, let me Okay. First of all, I'm going to create the table. Let me just create the table. And I think the table is created. Here it is. And let me, well, I'm going to do this. All right, I'm going to try this. This is a scary thing, but I'm going to try this. I don't think this is going to work. No, that didn't work. Oh well, you see what I was trying to do? I was trying to copy over it's a table, and there's a bunch of different ways I can do it, but I was just trying a new way. Uh, the other way is I think I can just do this, copy this like this, copy, and then let me go over here and go to um, Server Explorer. Oh yeah, show table data. I think I can paste. Yeah, there we go. All right, so now I can, okay, there we go. So now I've got a nice states table. Did everybody see how I did that? Um, and okay, so then I want to, uh, I want to be able to, okay, now I can create a data source. Here. Oh. Oh, I see. This was created before. Shoot, darn it. Okay. Oh, this is okay. So I need to add a new data source. Tables. I want both of them. So now I've got this data set, and I want to be able to. I want this state code to be a combo box, and all the rest of them are fine. And I want to do a details view right now. See what that looks like. And this, I'm going to make this smaller. I'm going to leave that the way that is. Put this over here, maybe. Put this up here. Make this bigger. Put this here. Make this smaller. Put this over here. It's kind of dumb. Make this a little smaller. Put this over here. Copy this, put this over here. Whatever. Phone number and email address. And this should probably be longer. And this can be longer, so can this. Whatever. Okay. Now we should be, okay, so then we need to bind this. Okay, this is where we go into. I see exception handling. Let's see what I did. The copy of newer, right? Here, friends. Yeah, copy of newer. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to bind the state combo box on the form to the states table, and so we got to go to, you got to go back and look at figure 19.2, and that shows you how to do that. We take this thing, click, and click on this, and the data source is a and we're supposed to do other data sources. Click this, and we want to bind it to the state. And the display member is going to be the state name, and the value member is going to be the state code. And the selected value is going to be um, state binding source state code. That's right. We also need to make sure that this state code is drop-down style property drop-down list. How do you do that? Drop-down list. And let's go back to the instructions here. Well, let's just see. Let's see what this looks like when we run it. So there's no data in here, so let me just click add, and I'm going to add somebody. What? E. Hmm. Oh. Oh, it's because it thought I was adding it. Wasn't it, didn't it? Oh, shoots. Okay, well anyway, it's 12, it's 2:51. I'm not sure. I think I'm going to edit this video and put it up, and maybe I'll add to it or something, because this wasn't very fruitful today. But if you follow 18-1, 18-2, and 19-1, it's actually pretty easy. 18-2 talks more about putting in uh, uh, doing exception handling for invalid data, and you actually learn quite a bit there. And then using the data set designer. Actually, the grid view, I see. Oh yeah, the grid view is. I guess maybe you do use 18-1, but that's a product. That's a product maintenance application. But the description in the textbook is customers. I'm quite sure. Figure 18-1. 2, 3. Okay, no, it is. It's a products. It's a products application. And then 19-1 takes you through this. And what I was trying to do is go directly from this exercise, this 19-1 exercise, to the assignment. And I got stuck on connecting the state drop down as opposed to having a text box, which I could have done. So anyway, it's the end of class, and I'll finish a video on this and put it up, and then we can go over it on Tuesday. All right. See you Tuesday.